Hey guys, What5 here with episode number 7 of our Newcastle career mode on FIFA 21. We're back, boys. It has been 12 days since we last uploaded, but we are back. And what we're going to do, we kick the episode off with some bad news about St. Maxime. He is going to be out for a few weeks with an injury. That's absolutely fine. We've got cover. We're in the January transfer window. We can sign players if we need to cover for him. And the first player we're going to go in for is Lewis Cook from Bournemouth. We're going to offer John Joe Shelby plus 5 million to Bournemouth. Obviously they're in the second division and they accept it straight away. I think it's a decent little deal in terms of age. Lewis Cook is younger, he's just as good, and he's probably got a much higher potential than John Joe Shelby. We're getting into contract negotiation terms as well. 4 years, an important first team role. He's going to come into the first team straight away. It's going to be him and Longstaff. His wages just over doubled, and I think that is a fair deal for the man as Lewis Cook, number 8, first signing of the episode. As we kick into the first game of our return, we're taking on Burnley. Everyone loves to face Burnley. So fun. The most fun team you can play in the Premier League is Burnley. Playing their 4-4-2. As always, Nick Pope in goal. A little bit of a changed lineup for them. I'm not sure Gianatti plays for them in real life. I'm assuming he doesn't, just based on the name. But 9 minutes in, the first chance is going to come our way as Yedlin. Played through, one-on-one with Nick Pope. He's going to shoot. Tries to sneak it in at the near post. Eventually, there's a poor shot. And it is cleared away as Yedlin once again. He's been the main attacking threat for us this game, overlapping it through to Ryan Kent. Man in the middle in Callum Wilson. What will he do? He's just going to knock it past his man. Goes for the little cheeky strike. Poor. Very poor. All things considered. Lascelles to Wilson. Wilson loses out the ball, goes down. And he's going to go down with another injury. You know, we've been dealing with Andy Carroll. We've been dealing with Dwight Gale. We've been dealing with all these different strikers whilst we've waited for Callum Wilson to come back. He's finally back, and he's gone again. He's so annoying, and I haven't even got a reserve striker on the bench, so we had to go with Almiron up top. Obviously, because Alan St. Maxime is also injured, he would normally fill in that striker role. But because he's injured as well, we have no natural striker on the bench to fill that role. And I don't know why I didn't put Andy Carroll on there just in case, because it was inevitable that Callum Wilson was going to get injured again. And I mean, it's another 2 month dislocated shoulder. He's dislocated his shoulder again. So should that keep happening next season, we'd definitely look to sell him on. I'm 100% honest there. If he keeps getting injured, we're going to sell him and we're going to look for a replacement. We will look for a replacement after this game as well. But we do go 1-0 down to Burnley. Jay Rodriguez, one of the players I had on my shortlist for players to potentially replace Callum Wilson. But he does make it 1-0 to Burnley, and we have now got a little fight on our hands to try and break down this 4-4-2. As Longstaff loses the ball to Goodmanson, Jamal Lewis pressing high up the pitch really nicely. Ben Mee loses the ball to Ryan Fraser, and it's really hard to score when you've not got a natural striker on the pitch. But Ryan Fraser charges through, strikes the cross goal, and thank God we've got a goal-scoring winger in Ryan Fraser, because Kent hasn't scored the most goals this season. Almiron hasn't scored the most goals this season. So thank God Ryan Kent is there to tuck the ball into the back of the net for us. As the game ends 1-1. Rodriguez scoring for them. Fraser scoring for us. 1 point is absolutely fine. All things considered, 1 point is absolutely fine. As we get into little negotiation terms, obviously because Wilson keeps getting injured, I thought we'll go in for Marco Arnautovic. He's in China right now. He's proven in the Premier League. They wanted 7.3 plus Almiron. I said, how about 17.5 plus Matt Ritchie going off to China in exchange, and actually accepted that straight away, which is a really good deal, I thought, personally. But then the idea popped into my head. I'd been looking around and I noticed that Mason Greenwood hadn't played that much for Man United this season. So I thought, how about we play 100% of his wages and we got him on a nice little 6-month loan, see how he does. And he actually accepts. So that means I'm not going to go in for Arnautovic just yet. Maybe I'll go in for him next season. But right now, we're going to stick with Mason Greenwood on loan. Hopefully he can bang in the goals for us. As we do get an offer for Dubravka, we've been looking to sell him for these past few games. He hasn't been the best this season, conceded a lot of goals, and he's probably one of the main reasons why we are so low in the league. I think we would be much higher if we had a better goalkeeper, but we do have a deal accepted there. He should be leaving us as we take on Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 17 goals so far this season. Looking to break the record potentially, but it's another one of our former teams, Arsenal. We know how they play. We know some of their players. They've obviously changed it up slightly in their lineup. As you can see here, they've got Jonathan Vieira at cam, whereas we would have had... Who do we have at cam? We had James Maddison in the second season. In the first season, I don't think we played with a cam, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we didn't play with a cam. We played the 5-2-3, you know, because we're like that. We like them efficient changes in system, as David Luiz takes out Mason Greenwood on his debut, 26 minutes in, and he goes down with an injury. Callum Wilson goes down with an injury against Burnley, and now Greenwood goes down with an injury against Arsenal. They go down the other end, and they tuck the ball into the back of the net. The disrespect there by Arsenal. Nicolas Pepe scores the goal, and Greenwood is forced off. Andy Carroll comes on. We're 1-0 down. We've got an injured striker. We're bringing on another injury-prone striker in Andy Carroll. So the chances are that all of our strikers could be injured by the end of this episode. Is 62 minutes in. It's played through to Aubameyang. He gets his 18th goal of the season. And at that point, it was kind of over. I didn't see us scoring 2 goals against this Arsenal team. They're a very, very strong team. And yeah, it's just the fact, if Mason Greenwood didn't get injured in this game, I feel like we could have put up a fight, you know. But because of that injury, and it's a nice little goal here by Martinelli, we know how good he can be. We got him, I think he was one of the highest rated players in the squad when we were Arsenal manager, but we do lose this one 3-0. It's at the Emirates. We never really expected to win this game, but unfortunately it is a 3-0 loss. As we can see here, thankfully it's just a bruised shoulder for Greenwood. He will be out for 5 days. I don't think he plays in this Fulham game. I think he returns in the game after. But you can see here, we're sitting in 9th. 9 wins, 5 draws, 9 losses. Not too bad, really. Fulham sitting in 12th. So I think we're playing actually quite well. All things considered, you can see Dubravka is no longer in goal. And you can see we also go with Andy Carroll up top in this lineup. But as for Fulham, we beat them at the beginning of the season. I do, if I remember correctly, it's been so long. I think we beat them 3-2 at the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly. But 39 minutes into the game, a chance here for Fulham's Seri. Across to his midfield partner in Lamina. Lamina's just going to knock it up to Kearney, Tom Kearney, the captain. Up to Gamera, he scored a free kick against us in that game. He's just going to turn past Lascelles. Got so much space to play it into Lamina. Lamina plays it through to Tom Kearney. Tom Kearney tucks it past Carl Darlow. 42 minutes into the game, we are 1-0 down. Not what we want. Fulham are a team we're going to be competing with in the mid-table battle this season, because obviously we were in 9th, they're in 12th. So we really need to get a result in this one, as Longstaff pings a ball through to Andy Carroll, one-on-one with Areola on his stronger left foot, tucks it past the goalkeeper, and I think that's the first goal he scored with his foot this season. All of Ever's goals have been headers. Really, you know, that's Andy Carroll. That's the perfect definition of Andy Carroll. But Deco Dover-Reid into Thomas Kearney, the goal scorer from the first half, lost his cheek. He played really well against us in the game. The reverse fixture at Craven Cottage. Reid is in the middle. No one's marking him. I don't know what is going on there. We play 5 at the back, and no one's marking Reid there in the box. And they do go and win the game 2-1. Not what we needed. Not what we needed in the grand scheme of things. And there we go in the FA Cup. I simmed the game. I didn't really think we were going to beat City, so I thought we'll just sim it with the rotation side. And we did lose 2-1. We actually put up a decent little fight. But I'm thinking we need to replace one of the centre-backs. So we're going to go for Semi Ajayi. We had him in the West Brom career mode last year. He was really, really good. Really, really good. Well, I think he was one of the last players we actually replaced in the first team, if I remember correctly. But we're going to offer him an important first team role. 4 years on his contract. 6.6 million, it was his release clause, so that's absolutely fine. It's perfect. You know, you can see our transfer budget. It doesn't really make a biggest dent in our overall budget. We do sign him to a nice little contract. He's not going to play just yet in this game against Wolves. I thought maybe that was a bit too early, but then, you know, do we want to go realistic or do we want to get results? And it was kind of the fight between keeping clean sheets with a defender that's obviously going to be better for the team. So, in the end, we decided to go with him, and we decided to drop Isaac Hayden Isaac Hayden was dropped. Fabian Schär, Lascelles, and Ajayi come in to the back three. Normally, I think it's going to be Ajayi, Lascelles, and Hayden, with Fabian Schär being the backup. But I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how it plays out. But Lewis Cook to Longstaff. Longstaff into Greenwood, turns his man brilliantly, and he knocks it past the Wolves goalkeeper in Roy Patricio. It is now 1-0 to ourselves. Greenwood with his first goal in the loan movie. You see there the pressure on him. We give him Alan Shearer's number 9 jersey. The pressure. But 16 minutes in, Johnny, the left wing back, skips past Yedlin, but he goes back inside really, and it's just allowed us to pressure, and it actually slows down their attacking move as Podence. He's just fidgeting around, can't get away from the ball. Thankfully for ourselves, Carl Darlow can get on the end of that Adama Traore header. As Greenwood knocks the ball for St. Maxime, he's back from his injury. Poor shot really, you've got to be at least kind of testing the goalkeeper a little bit more there with that one. But Ryan Kent, decent little touch off his forehead there. As Greenwood's played through once again, cuts back inside past Cody, back outside, goes for a strike, but Eric Dyer gets a foot in there and clears it away. 5 minutes remaining. A chance here for Ruben Neves in the dying seconds of the game. You know he's got a good free kick on him, and he almost puts it into that top left-hand corner. Thankfully for ourselves, Carl Darlow gets across, makes the save, and he does get away with one there as we clear it away from the resulting corner. It's going to fall to Podence, but the referee blows his whistle before he can even get to the ball. We win the game. We do the double over Wolves this season. And a really, really good result after that poor Fulham result. And that's it for this episode. We are back. I'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to be consistently uploading more. But that is going to be that for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. We've got 40 million to spend in tomorrow's episode. So, enjoy this for transfer deadline day. Peace.